What's up, and welcome to the first ever episode of Con Podcast. My name is Dan, and with me I have Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy?
Welcome.
And Brian.
Yeah,
what's up, Brian?
What's going on, Dan?
Chilling. All right, now we got to figure out what to talk about.
Well, I figured first topic of our anime. Well, we should specify this is going to be an anime podcast.
Anime-centric for the most part. Anime nerd stuff. Yeah.
You know, so we'll probably talk about like superhero stuff, maybe, you know, some like, you know.
Anything that floats our boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
water mostly, but yeah.
trying to, I guess, centralize around anime mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I was talking before, and I figured first topic would be how do we, you know, why did we get into anime? Why did we get into it? What did we start off with, and all that good jazz? So
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
You want to start off, Dan?
yeah, it's your, you know,
sure.
come on, man.
Sure. So how I got into anime was, some of my first memories was when I was 3 years old, just all morning watching Dragon Ball Z, and that was my first anime. Ever since then, just been watching that consistently. Then got into Toonami and whatnot as like a tween, you know. Then in middle school, I pretended I didn't like anime because it wasn't cool anymore, you know. Like they were like, "Oh, you like that shit? That's weird."
Yo, you like anime, bro?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Fucking nerd.
Go home.
Who are you?
Yep, and that's exactly how that went. So I was like, no, I don't even watch anime except Toonami at night. But you know,
Then you proceed the Naruto run down the hallway. I don't like anime.
yeah, running away from my feelings. Yeah, and then I got heavy back into it like the end of high school. Yeah, I started watching rom-coms and everything, like just full weeb mode. Jimmy?
I got into it similar to you. My brother and me used to stay up late and watch Toonami at night, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, all that fun stuff. And similar to you, I pretended like I didn't like anime in school because it was not popular at the time.
Yep, you get
But
teased, you know?
now it's super popular.
Yep, now if you don't like anime, it's like,
You're a loser.
what's wrong with you?
It's so crazy how it's come full circle. I have coworkers that are in their 30s and they're like, bro, you would get bullied for like even liking anime. They'd be like, yo, you nerd, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
And now you're just like, oh yeah, there's like, you know, Meg Thee Stallion, right? She
Yes.
posted like the photo with the Demon Slayer nail. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got now like
so cool.
models and sports stars and you know,
Got Sam Jackson.
Everybody.
Yeah, oh yeah, Samuel Jackson and hentai too. Yeah, I love that interview and he's like, yeah, I know what it is. I'm like, oh my.
I try to tell people
goodness.
for the longest time too, like, oh, there's an anime for everyone, and everyone was like,
100
yeah, whatever. But
100%.
yeah, 100% there is. Like everyone was like, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, you get like sports anime as well.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a ton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kuroko's basketball. Great anime.
Yeah, Basketball Z.
Haikyuu, right?
Yeah,
the
Haikyuu.
Bible. That's like an extremely popular one.
Yep.
Did you have any others or?
No, like it was really just Dragon Ball Z and Gundam that got me started, and then Naruto. Finished that not too long ago, and yeah, just love the art and the fight scenes and like all anime. I think all anime has like their own thing to offer and always looks like beautiful art.
Yeah, I'm trying to like. I didn't really start watching anime at like a younger age. Like you said, you were like 3, and
Three,
you
yeah.
know, I'm like 3.
Yep.
But I can recall being maybe like early middle school. Like I think I started
Yeah.
watching it middle school, so maybe you know I was like 12 or like 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I just think one day I, you know, turned on Cartoon Network and it got late and it was like Toonami. Here's Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Anime
Central.
And Gundam. I was like, this looks really lit. And then so I used this weekly, you know, it was like Saturdays, I think Toonami was on. And, you know, I feel like that is the common like starting place for a lot of us here, you know, and at least in the US, you know, it's just like Toonami was like the intro to anime. And even like Adult Swim, but that was a little later on, you know, because I was like 2 a.m. You'd see like Trigun or you know,
Cowboy
animes
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, you know, more of
Yeah.
like the violent animes would be on later, obviously for the adults.
Tom holding it down. Tom from Toonami holding it down.
Oh my god, my man Tom, I miss that shit, bro. But yeah, it was like, you know, I think Naruto actually was the first anime that I really consistently started watching every week, because I remember I would run downstairs in my basement and turn on the TV and it would be like the tuning exam, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, there Lee takes off his weights and you're sitting there like, holy shit,
Iconic. I never got into Naruto, but that
that
fight was
scene?
iconic.
You just sit there like, oh no.
Yep.
It's like the first. It's like the first Goku transformation. Where he goes to.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
When
god.
he
Everyone
first
knows
turned
it.
Super Saiyan over the course of like 4 episodes. episodes.
Yep. Even if you don't know
Sick.
it, you know it.
And dude, even like it was like what, episode 18 or 19 when they're fighting Kabuto, and then she what's the girl's name? She like she throws the needles and it like hits Sasuke, and he's like, "Oh, I'd save you."
Haku.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he gets like the nine tails
Yeah.
aura for the first time, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and I was like, "Holy shit, this is crazy!" And I don't know, just as a kid, I thought it was like fascinating, and but yeah, I just think like Naruto, Pokemon, obviously, like I think that was even earlier, but. Pokemon is Pokemon, but I was like Naruto. I was like, oh my god, they're like killing each other and bleed, all that kind of stuff. And
Yep.
And then as time went on, I started creating more friends in high school that knew more anime, and it was like I would watch like Gurren Lagann is an awesome one.
Still never watched it.
Gurren Lagann's a really good one because
Seems
that was
very good.
2007, I
Yeah.
think, or something like that. So that was.
I'm glad it
middle
didn't
school.
really have like like the like mid late 2000s, like before 2010s, or like it kind of continued into that art style with just like really big
the
like
big
oval
old
shaped eyes
Yeah.
and like just very crude art style. Oh god, like the Clanad art style is like that.
Mhm.
And I watched Clanad and I liked it, but the art style just like it gets me. It's so dated.
Yeah. That was
do
like
it.
The House Husband.
Oh, it was like that?
Yeah, well, it's not like that, but I watched it, and the art style is like it's like flipping a book of a manga. It's
Oh,
very
that's cool.
weird. Like there's very little movement in it.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's weird, but it took me a little while to get over like an art style like that. Like it
Yeah.
was like slow movement, like flipping a page in a book. It was very weird, but it's not terrible. It just takes a little while to get used to that like type of artwork.
That was me with Invincible, with the animation and everything.
Yeah.
It was super cool. Like I did get through it eventually, but I watched the first episode and then I was like, no, I can't watch this shit. Because like it just seems like a webtoon. The way they animate everything, the art style is like a typical like comic book style, but the way they animate it, like it's just so janky in the background and stuff, except for like fight scenes. But like I powered through it and the story was really good. Yeah, so it was worth it.
Yeah, it's just the whole like art style thing. Yeah, I was joking about it with my coworker because he's watched like a lot of more like classic, like 80s,
like
90s,
Demon- oh, okay, okay.
like older anime.
okay, yeah.
So, and I remember he's like, I remember when the art style started changing to more be like kawaii, and they just gave the
yeah.
anime girls like really huge eyes
And
I was-
titties.
and titties, yes, of course, bless. But like he showed me a picture, and this girl just had these like really huge eyes, but she was more like the eyes were spaced out away a little bit further from her nose, so she looked like she was like looking two different directions.
And she was.
I'm like, dude, what?
360 vision.
Gotta be aware of your surroundings.
It just happens sometimes, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But again, like I never watched a lot of those animes. I have friends who they watch like what's the Onigiri High School, right? I think that's how it is. Like it's like the anime with like all the high school boys and like all the girls would watch that anime.
Shit, no, what is that called?
Is that
Oran High School?
Oh, Oran High School? I
Okay.
said Oregon.
Host Club or something?
Yeah, and yeah, host club or something like that, and that I just like every female that I've talked to has like watched that anime, and I'm just like, I don't know, everyone has like a different starting point. Like, my friend watched like Devil's a Part Timer. I haven't seen,
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
funny.
seen it, but again, like everyone kind of. If someone starts on that path, they usually stay on that path, and like everyone's the same. Like, oh yeah, I started watching this, and then, but I'm like, oh well, I watched Naruto, Dragon Ball, Gun Blah, and everyone has like their own branch, like, and they don't really intertwine until later, But
Yeah. I think I started with Shonen with Dragon Ball Z, and then I guess like main for me is Shonen, I guess. But then I will watch like the rom-coms and like
You gotta throw some rom-coms
slice
in
of
there.
life. Yeah, just mix it up, once
Yeah.
in a while.
yeah. And, I talked about it last time I hung up. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid just started back up season 2.
I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I gotta
And-
watch that.
and
All I saw were
it's-
clips.
And just watching, like, I binged Jujutsu Kaisen, and of
so
course
good.
that episode, that anime is just like banger after banger episode.
So
like, there's
good.
fights
Oh,
almost every episode.
Anyone can get into that.
And
Yeah.
and then after watching it, and I was like, oh, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid started again, and then
A palate cleanser.
I sit down and I watch it. I'm like, wow, this was like really relaxing. I'm not sitting there on the edge of my seat like, holy God, this guy gonna die. I was like, no, she's just like, going to a maid cafe, and now she's working there. She's like, oh my God, look at how good I am. And and it's nice to have those like breaks where I really like enjoy just watching just like Miss Kobayashi, or even you started making, we watched
Konosuba.
Konosuba.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
Konosuba's
just
great.
like a nice funny comedy, like
Yeah.
like let's make fun of isekai while it's an isekai.
I love it. Yeah.
And so
Self-aware isekai.
I definitely got it's the next one I'm gonna watch. Like
Oh, yeah.
now that you started me, I'm like, oh, this is hysterical.
Oh, you got
so
it, yeah.
I gotta watch more of it, definitely.
I feel like that was the first one that I saw that was like making fun of isekai. I think there's a couple more now, but like that was like the OG as far as I can remember, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, like when it started off, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, you got hit by a bus," and he's like, "Oh, at least my life wasn't in vain." Like, no, the girl wasn't gonna die.
It was actually a slow moving
Yeah,
tractor.
It's just a slow moving tractor, and I'm like, "What?"
Your family came in, they're laughing
like,
at you.
Just all your
Yeah.
family's laughing. It's immediately right off the
You
bat
peed yourself,
just makes
you know.
fun of that cliche. Oh, the protagonist got hit by a car and now he's in a different world. Like,
Yep.
no, you just died because you were afraid.
Pissed yourself.
got a
Spoilers for the first episode of Konosuba, but
Sorry guys.
spoiler warning: he pissed himself.
I mean, Konosuba's been out for how many years now? Like
Four?
four?
Yeah, I think four.
Five?
Something like
So
that,
come
yeah.
on, you're slacking at this point. Even I'm slacking. Like I still have to watch it, so I.
For the Bryans of the world, yeah.
I'm just getting walk away.
I'm out.
I'm out. Oh man, yeah, dude. I don't know what it is. I love just resonating with just some animes, like especially Dragon Ball. I have actually, I have a Gohan SSJ2 tattoo on my arm, and some people are like, "Oh, why'd you get it?" And it's just for some reason, like that character specifically, I was able to really relate to because Gohan in the beginning of Z was very, he's a big crybaby, he doesn't want to fight, and then when it comes down to it, and he's like got his back against the wall, he like goes beyond his limits and pushes forward and breaks through. And I thought it kind of resonated with me because like I'm a very introverted person,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm like, if I've had my back against the wall a couple times, and I've prevailed and moved on and broken through to like the next I guess level, and it just was like, I can just relate with him. I feel like how he feels in a way, and on top of that, it's just a iconic character as
Oh,
well.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So to me, I just I got the tattoo. Now it's like now I can he's on my arm forever, and just like I can resonate with that with that character. And
I felt the same way about that Gohan too, like grown up to, and who would have thought anime fans, introverts, but yeah, I felt that same exact way. And he was one of my favorite Z characters for a while. I don't want this to turn into like the Dragon Bro podcast, but like, yeah, he was
the Dragon Bro.
yeah. But he was definitely Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was definitely one of my favorite characters for a while too. And then I got Super Saiyan God Goku tattooed because I thought the form was cool, and I just like how it pops with the red and everything.
Yeah,
very
definitely
rudimentary
clean.
reasons, but yeah.
So Jimmy, where's your Dragon Ball tattoo?
Oh, I got
He does have one. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
God damn it.
yeah, I got Majin Vegeta because Vegeta's always been my favorite, and Majin Vegeta is where he turned into a real bro.
Yeah. Oh man, Dragon Ball podcast. It's
Sacrificed himself.
I
Saved the world.
I just had to point out for the listeners, I had no idea Jimmy had a Dragon Ball tattoo, so that was supposed to be a joke, and he was like, "Nah, bro, bam."
actually
I was like, "Oh shit! All right, that's clean." We all.
actually hive mind.
All right, so name change the Dragon Bro podcast.
Yep. Scrap it all, Dragon Bro.
All right, start. All right, hold on, just hit the button. And start.
Oh, actually, you know what? Speaking of which, they released a little teaser for a new movie coming out as well.
Oh shit, that's right. That just happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
Apparently, they've been working on it since like before the Broly movie came out. So I don't know what they've been doing, but like, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's all original. It's nothing to do with the manga, or so it seems. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been reading the manga and it's been cool, but yeah, apparently this is unrelated.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been reading the manga as well, like, and well, spoilers, but if you don't read the manga, but the Vegeta just got like his new. He actually tapped into some god power, like Topo,
Topo, yeah.
Topo, and did, and I was like, oh man, this is
God of
this is getting
Destruction,
in.
yeah.
So now I'm just in my head, I'm wondering, is that gonna be on the same level as Instinct, or is that just going to be like kind of its own unique thing? Like obviously he can like Hakad people and just erase them from existence, where I mean, Goku can kind of do the same thing, but
In the
I don't know
manga,
if it's
yeah.
on a different level. I don't know what I guess they'll have to explain it more because
Yeah,
that was like
'cause
the end of the chapter, right? He's
It's
like,
always tough with Dragon Ball because the power levels are all
Always
over the place,
rising,
You know,
yeah.
Goku just got his ass beat too, and now Vegeta's stepping in, doing better. But it's like, who knows? You know.
we know
Another
how
power
this
kick coming
ends.
soon.
Yeah, whatever Akira Toriyama's will is, he'll just make Goku stronger anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't look into any detail about the movie teaser, but
There
I
aren't many out.
It was just like a short 30-second clip of like kind of the art style that they're using for the movie, which is like
Yeah.
a mixture of CGI and 2D animation. Which
Is that going to be the?
yeah, I think that's what
That's
it is.
going to
Like
be the style for the whole movie.
I think so.
I hope
Again,
not.
I
Oh no!
I did, but
Oh,
the
no,
thing
I
is,
think I'm gonna watch it now.
it looks good, or at least the clip that I saw. You know, it definitely looked better than when Broly and Gogeta went into like that weird dimension.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can just tell, like,
was
oh
pretty
man,
ass,
they
yeah.
just went really full CG for this. I mean, I guess maybe it was necessary for everything that was going on in that like realm. But
Well, that's how I felt about Demon Slayer. Like, loved the movie, but the CG was hard to watch some parts.
the 3D
of it.
parts. Yeah,
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
'Cause-
Great movie, but hard
yeah.
to watch the CG parts.
Oh, it's great, and especially coming off of like the first season, the animation in that was just like
Beautiful,
amazing. Some of the best. Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but
but yeah, one of the boss fights, I guess
Yeah,
you'll say.
some
yeah.
of the colors that they throw in together
Oh my
are
God.
great.
Yeah.
listen, if you're gonna listen to this, we got to put a warning in the beginning. There's probably gonna be spoilers about
Oh man,
the
spoiler
shit we're
warnings
talking.
every 45 seconds.
It is
We'll
spoiler- by the
try to
way,
avoid
spoilers. But yeah, no, the movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, that now we're talking about, but
Spoilers, they were demons.
and they were slayed.
Yeah,
So sorry.
some are slayed, some are not.
Somewhere.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, no, the animation was just incredible for that
Oh, yeah.
movie. And then I don't really, again, there wasn't much CG in the movie.
movie?
Just like Dragon Ball,
The
like
train.
the only, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but the only time you saw the train was when they did a wide shot and then they zoomed in.
And then-
Well, I mean, it was also like the main boss was CGI'd a little bit. That like it wasn't bad. It didn't take away from the movie, but it was definitely like it's a little weird looking.
But that's just I guess they haven't been able to mesh 2D animation and CG because the
Yeah.
CG looks 3D.
Mm.
It doesn't really look like a two-dimensional.
Yeah,
It kind of
yeah.
almost like it's weird. You can tell like that looks a little bit more rendered than everything else.
I just
or
wonder
it's
if like
detailed.
they
I don't
need
know.
more time or whatever, because they could do layers with 2D over it as well, but they might be on a time budget, so who
Yeah,
knows?
I-
or budget.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Demon Slayer seemed to make a lot of money, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they. Then again, I don't know. If
Who knows
the
what their budget
studio
was
who-
up front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't know shit. We're just a bunch of weebs.
Yeah.
Talking. We don't know anything about financially
Business
like
analysts.
funding
Well,
an
new-
anime movie.
Season 2's coming out soon for Demon Slayer,
Oh,
and
that's-
same thing with
yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen. They were coming out with a movie, I
The
think,
movie.
this
Yeah,
year.
Yeah.
the movie. It's like December.
I think it's
right?
the end of
It's
this
like
year.
end of the year.
Yeah.
I think the manga's on hiatus though.
No, they
Jujutsu
actually
Kaisen?
I think they just took it off. I saw something that
Oh,
they
that was quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was like what? It went on hiatus
for like 2 months maybe.
Yeah, like a month maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
wasn't too long.
Yeah, I just saw something like, oh yeah, we're off hiatus now. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I saw on Twitter everyone's like, "Let's go!" Everyone's so hyped.
Just found out about the hiatus. All right, yeah. Now it's gone. Perfect. That's how I
nothing,
like it.
Dan, nothing happened. Don't even.
Yo,
don't even worry about
that's
it.
the reason why I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter, because
they went on hiatus.
it doesn't end. Yeah, and it's I've seen plenty of fight scenes, I've seen plenty of spoilers, plot wise and everything, and it seems fantastic, but I just haven't watched it because I'm like, there's no resolution.
Well, that's
so,
how I feel about Berserk. They were on hiatus, and the creator of Berserk passed away, and
Unfortunately.
now there's no resolution, and it's sad to see him go, and like all the fans are upset that he passed away, and they're also upset like they're not going to be able to see how it ends and what he envisioned for the ending.
right. And then
Yeah.
if somebody finishes it,
It's not going to be the same.
nobody would be happy with the conclusion. Yeah.
Exactly. You're put into that tough spot because I think did he give the ideas to his son, or did his son
I
or
think
his family?
he made
or...
bullet points. I think he made bullet points for his family of how he wanted it to go.
My heir.
Yeah.
And it's tough because like that's a lot of weight on your shoulders because Berserk is a
It's a big
staple.
fan
It's a
base, yeah.
staple in in anime history, and do you want to really mess that up by continuing it? And then the whole fandom's like, this sucks.
Yeah,
You
from
know,
what I heard, like the fans were like, you could take the last book that he made as the ending. Like, I don't know if it's true. I haven't gotten that far
yeah,
yet.
I haven't read it either.
But
so.
I heard like if you read it a certain way, you can take it as an ending for Berserk. Like you could see that as like, okay, it's wrapped up, it's over. I don't know how true that is. I'm not up to it yet.
Yeah. You could write the ending.
Okay, 2021 coming out with the
Got
ending.
nothing to lose.
Haven't read the rest of it, but I'll make the ending.
I'll figure it out
real quick.
He goes berserk.
Gets angry. He kills everyone. He wins.
Yeah. Everybody dies, but everybody wins.
He dies too. That's it. Just everyone dies.
He
Literally.
he implodes on himself.
He throws the sword up in the air, forgets about it. Yeah.
He does the Zoro
when that
cut.
happens.
He does the Zoro cut test. He throws it in the air, holds out his arm.
Oh shit! You just hear like dun 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 dun. dun. You hear like the music start playing. That's just how it ends.
Yeah.
His arm cuts off.
Oh boy.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm excited for Demon Slayer season 2. Now, actually, an interesting point. I think I discussed this with another buddy of mine. How do you feel about animes taking a certain arc and making it into a movie instead of just putting it into the actual season episodes? Because
Right.
the train movie for Demon Slayer is
season
canon.
2. Yeah.
So
And you have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So for the people who haven't watched the movie and they go into the anime, they're gonna be like, "Oh, X and X, is where is this guy?"
They were on a train. Now they're in the middle of a forest.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what
Oh,
happened?
they were about to hop on a train, and now wait, but where is X? Who
I think it's a good
spoilers, but-
idea for like. I think it's a good idea if they make it and then they put it in like as season 2. Like they put it in whatever you can stream it on as season 2. And this way you could watch it and then watch that. And then when you get into season 3, you know what's going to happen. Versus if they just make season 2 and call it season 2, you're not going to know what happened unless you watch that movie now.
But
I think it's still a good idea because you can make the movie and you can also make a season now.
That's what they did with Super, and oh god, that the beginning of Super with the animation with the Beerus fight was just like memed for so long. It was some of the most horrendous animation ever. But the still frame grabs from that were just hilarious, but like so saddening.
Goku's behind Beerus, like
just a stick figure. Basically.
just like he looks so stiff behind, like Beerus just has no facial expression. Just
Just a literal cat. But I mean, I think it's okay because like if you do get into season 2 of an anime, you were into season 1 and you will want to know what happens, and then by the time they come out with season 2, I feel like it'll be accessible. The movie will be
it should
accessible.
be out and streaming. Yeah.
Either legal or illegal ways.
Or torrent.
No, we don't.
Yeah, no, you don't do
promotes
that.
that.
We watch everything legal.
What'd you say?
No, buy everything.
Yeah. Please support the original creator.
Absolutely.
Who downloads illegally? No, not here.
No, nobody.
No.
But I feel like if you're getting into season 2 of it, you will want to see, especially if you start watching season 2 and for some reason you didn't know a movie came out and you just sit there confused.
You can always look it up and find out what happened.
Because when I started watching Tokyo Ghoul season 3, I was very confused and thought I missed something. But no, that's just how they made the anime.
Started it.
Yeah, no, that's just how they did it. They just they just fucking cut everything out, and I was confused. And
Nah, you don't need this. Or
went
this.
to shit. Absolutely went to shit. But
Man.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like the idea of them creating more movies, whether it be like its own thing, like Dragon Ball. It's like when they made Dragon Ball Broly, it was still it's canon, but at least it was after the events of the tournament arc, which they had like flash images in the beginning, like Goku and his journey, and you saw like Jiren and everything. You're like, oh shit, they're actually bringing up what happened in the show, like just briefly, like very little.
Yeah, all the movies now are canon. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and so
moving forward, since Resurrection F.
And I just like the I don't know, just as an anime fan, I really like that more anime movies are coming to like theaters here in the US. And like when I saw Dragon Ball Broly, I saw it opening night on like it was like a Wednesday, I think, and like the whole theater, like when Goku transformed, like
big pops.
Big pops. And I think just that is just part of the movie experience, like if you go see a Marvel movie, obviously Avengers Endgame, everyone was freaking out.
Absolutely.
But crying, I love that energy. Some people are different. Some people want to like listen to the movie and they're like, I can't even hear what's going on. But for me, it's just like a big watch party. At least for anime, it's like a big watch party. Like everyone in this room is like a Dragon Ball fan, Demon Slayer fan, soon to be Jujutsu Kaisen fan.
Well, that's how it was with the My Hero movie that we went to see that one
My
time.
Hero? Yep.
Yeah. Everyone in like at the end of that movie, everyone got up and started applauding.
Yep.
Like cheering.
Whole lot of sussy bakas.
Yep. A whole lot of sussy bakas.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Guys, please. Not the sussy bakas.
We're not doing it. No.
reverse. But yeah, I remember the first My Hero movie. It's like Heroes Rising or Two Heroes. I don't remember.
Well, I think the first one was All Might's background story, and then it was Heroes Rising, and I think they came out with another one.
No, so there's a third movie coming out soon.
Okay.
Which is like apparently Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku got like someone's pretending to be them, or
Okay.
they're like they did a crime and like, oh, they have like wanted wants, or what's the word I'm looking for? They're
Wanted
wanted.
posters?
Yeah, exactly. They're wanted men.
One Piece, yes.
Yeah, One Piece posters.
So they're wanted men apparently, and they have like these like black suits that like cover their like most of their face and like undercover like stealth looking clothes. And I don't really know much more of the plot behind that, but apparently like someone is pretending to be them, like the imposter sus.
Oh, sussy.
Sussy. And so that movie's coming out, but the first movie had a little bit of All Might's backstory where he was like in California with his partner.
Yeah.
But then they went to that island where it's like a theme park, and then his niece was there, and that was part of the same movie. And then the second movie was when they were doing like a hero's course. Yeah, they were volunteering on the island to protect the people there.
Yeah.
And that's when like the villains like came and like, oh, we can eliminate these kids here while no like big superheroes are here. But I just remember in the first movie when they get to like they sitting down for lunch, and all of a sudden class 1A just starts coming in one by one, and like all the girls in the theater are just like, oh yeah, and, like as soon as Todoroki
whenever you see Todoroki.
Like I was like,
spoilers for the lunch break in the movie. I mean,
well, the spoiler cast. Change the name again, rewrite it, spoiler cast.
Yep.
I mean, that's been like 5 years as well, I think now. So I mean, guys, come on, you gotta catch up.
Get on it.
What are we doing?
I'm big on the anime movies, though. Just any excuse
going
to get
back
out
to the
as
original
well.
question.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea because, like I said, it gives them like a chance to have a team make the movie while the other team makes the next season. So you get like a double whammy of like, oh, it's the season plus another season now. You get 2 for 1.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely like that's actually a good point. It definitely kind of puts the where's season 2? Season 2 can come out in a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, depending on how long they need to make the material or let the manga go and ahead of it. And having the movie being announced and like everyone just focuses on the movie, like, oh, there's a movie coming out, like that's all they're focused on.
And
that'll
hold them over.
Let's and then in the background they're just like, all right, season 2, come on, we gotta.
I do wonder if they do have different studios work on them. I hope so, at least for their workload. That would make sense.
Yeah,
so
have,
hopefully they do that.
Team, have separate teams. Like one team does a movie, the other team does like the actual TV show.
Yeah,
I'm sure the directors like go back and forth. Like I'm sure the director for like like Demon Slayer 1, whoever the animation director of that season was, I'm sure he was there for the movie because he wants to keep everything consistent. So I'm sure like in that height of level where you're at, you have to go back and forth. But
hopefully animators and whatnot, they have different.
I mean, we'd hope so because
they work so goddamn hard.
I was gonna say there's definitely stories of animators working like 14-hour days. Just
that's like Naruto. Like Naruto, I know for certain fight scenes, depending on like if it's a big fight scene, they'll have like a special animator come in for that fight scene in particular, and then they'll have the other guys just work on the rest of the scenes, and that animator will just focus on that fight scene depending on which one it is.
Yeah, like if it has a lot of keyframes, then you're like, okay, this is like an
like
important part
the
of
pain
the
fight. They had like a special animator.
Well, I don't know about the pain fight because we all know the images from the pain fight. His face is like elongated, like.
Cool. It works.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it makes memes, and memes grab attention, But,
exactly. That was exactly why they did it.
Yeah.
All part of my plan.
Memes?
I meant to make it like that.
We'll make the memes, and they'll come watch the anime.
Yep. I meant to make it look like that.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing.
But yeah, so hopefully any animators out there, hopefully you're not working too hard.
They are. They are.
Every day.
That's why I said I hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Animators, game developers, all working too hard.
Yeah, Demon Slayer especially with all the colors and
my God.
Beautiful.
It does look really gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's one of the very few animes that I'm like, wow, you can really see every color like just vividly.
And
I'm
also,
a little colorblind, so I can see some, but the rest they're lost on me.
The rest I'm just guessing
I believe
what they
you,
are.
It's also one of the animes, like even like the animation in the season and in the movie was like so consistent. I felt the animation is so smooth is the word, is like
Right.
the best way to
Very
describe
fluid.
it, because they're using a lot of swordsmanship and movement like that, and so like you just see like every swing of the sword and which way he's spinning it, or even like sometimes they'll have a frame where he like it goes to his hands and he like twists it, like his hands to like the side or something to get a different slash in. And I don't know, it's just so smooth. You feel every swing that he.
I mean, it's
Tanjiro
crazy.
does.
It's crazy going from like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, and now you're going to like the newer ones, even like Naruto, and like they were all like the old school like comic book looking like animations, and now you're going to like the newer ones where it's just like crisp, solid lines, like.
Oh, but some of the I mean I didn't watch Naruto, but I've seen like key fight scenes pulled out for YouTube clips, and that animation, fire, just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Naruto, but I mean, like, yeah, their animation's straight, like, just absolute fire.
For those fight scenes, yeah, big time.
They definitely blow all their budget on those fight scenes.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. I mean, you got it. That's like the climax, right?
That's why there's so much filler, because they're like, oh, we gotta save up for some more.
Right. Every episode of One Piece, dude. That's why I stopped watching at episode 867.
Episode. Just let me flip through my book here.
Just casually.
800.
Yep, 867.
Oh my God,
That's where I put
so
my
much-
checkpoint.
So much filler, dude. Every episode. I'm just gonna start reading it now. At this point, I'm
Well,
just trying to find my place within the manga, because it's just, you have normally a 21-minute episode, but even like, I don't know, 8 minutes of that.
It's filler.
Yeah, filler
Yeah.
recap, all that. Yeah.
Yep,
And-
filler recap, or even just the intro.
And just the pacing of the episode itself is so slow. And I understand, because like I'm almost positive that they've never taken a week off. They've released an episode, every week without fail.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand, but it's rough to get through. And I used to watch it 1.5 speed, but at one point I was caught up and I couldn't really, unless I waited a little bit. Then I found a source that I could speed it up on. But it's just rough. So I'm gonna start reading the manga instead.
Yeah, I've been trying to read like different mangas for certain animes. Like I'm watching Fire Force, but I started reading the Boruto manga, and I started the one I told you about, the I'm Standing on a Million Lives.
Right.
That they're not bad, but like I prefer the like shows because I like watching the fight scenes. It's weird reading it, and like you want to see what it looks like animated.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can always just YouTube it later.
You could. That you could.
This way, it goes faster. Like Boruto, like half the first 2 episodes are like almost filler. I already finished like technically like the first 4 episodes in the first book.
Well, there was like Tokyo Revengers. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. Let me see how much of the manga is out." And there was a shit ton, so I binged it all. And now I'll go back and I'll watch the episodes here or there just to kind of like have the touchstone and like see how they did it and whatnot. But same thing with Miss Nagatoro. I watched the first episode and saw everyone getting so mad. All the incels getting so mad because they were like, they're being mean to him. And it's like, well,
I mean, that's kind of the point of the anime.
Yeah,
the manga,
You tease the person you like.
Yeah, well, that's basically that, like to the
That's how it
extreme in the
works.
first episode. Yeah. But I was like, whatever. I know how this is gonna go. It's
Oh, you get the vibe from straight off the beginning. You're like, I know where this is going, so
Yeah.
I know why this is happening.
they can't have a whole ass series of just torture. People wouldn't stand by it, most likely, because I mean the incels got mad at the first episode. But yeah, I read the rest of the manga and it was very cute. So
Yeah.
that's the same thing where I'll stop in and watch the anime here or there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the anime for that, and 10 out of 10. I thought it was a very cute anime.
Very cute. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It was
I-
very wholesome.
I haven't watched it yet, so I just watched the clips so far. Of,
Oh,
like,
yeah?
it's just all the teasing clips.
Oh,
like
it's-
where they're at the beach and she's just like, "Oh, put sunscreen on the back." He's like, "No, I can't do that. We're not dating." And she's like, "Oh yeah, well fine." And she just starts like putting sunscreen on his back, but she's using her foot and she's like digging into his back. And he's like, "Ah, why are you doing that?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?"
and that's
I'm
those
like,
are the parts where I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, because that the author of that manga is apparently like he writes a lot of like doujinshi, so he writes a lot of like dirty shit. So I'm like, that's like peeking through right there. I'm like, oh god, no.
He felt a little saucy that day. He was like, "I'm gonna add a little of this in here." Like,
Yeah, he-
not too far, but you
Little
know,
dash this,
He
sprinkle
was,
this.
he was a saucy baka that day, but
a saucy box.
yeah. So when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, oh god, no. But at least they're the same age, because anime has had a trend of like a couple of popular shows.
Watch
the
your
past,
words here, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, a couple anime the past season have been like, oh, this 29-year-old man and this 14-year-old girl, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, I can't stand it.
yeah.
I can't get behind it.
Yeah, no, that's
That's what happened with Sword Art. Sword Art Online was like, it was good, but the whole like brother sister thing was a little weird in the beginning.
There were plenty of weird things. Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, it was still great anime. First season,
everyone hates it though.
second season not too good. Third
The
season,
the first
Gale
part
Online.
of the first season,
Yeah.
good.
We gotta specify here.
Yeah, first part of the second season, good, and then everything else has
Elfin
been
Online, not good.
No.
Yeah,
Gun Gale Online,
That
pretty
was cool.
solid.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. And then
Right.
again, they did the whole like second part where they went into like their own world because he has like the master like
Yeah.
cube or whatever, and he can create as many online worlds as he wants. So they go to like their own. And I only watched a few episodes into that, and it seemed pretty cool. I don't know like where it led.
Oh, the
after
newer
that.
one.
I didn't watch the newer. I know they came out with a new episode.
not the newer one. It was season 2, like part 2, like after they defeated the guy in Gun Gale that was like trying to kill Kirito or whoever again, and then they created their own world, and that's where the girl has like the blue dragon, and like, they have like the out. It's hard to explain. I don't have like a picture in front of me, but yeah, no, the going back to the original point was his cousin. Wasn't his cousin?
It was
something?
like his second cousin or whatever.
And she just finds him in the game, and she's like, "Oh my god, this guy is amazing." And I'm just like, "Oh no, he's
so sexy."
And then she
you being a sussy bug.
and then she's like, "Wait, you're actually like Kirito?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, her heart is like broken. And I'm just like,
no.
Takes pictures off of wall.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. Stop.
Yeah, they're shamelessly like a weird harem in that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Which actually, like the manga I'm reading, I Stand on a Million Lives, is actually similar to like Sword Art Online, where it's a group of like high school kids who they get transported to a fantasy world every couple like days. There'll be like time pauses in their world. They get transported, and the whole premises of it is they have to complete quests, and each time a quest happens, they get a new member of the squad. And as long as, like, if one of them dies, they'll revive after 30 seconds. But if the whole squad dies, then they die in real life. So it's like similar to like Sword Art Online, where if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Okay. Except they just went, all right, instead of one person dying in real life, the whole party has to die, and then you all die in real life.
It's video game style.
It's a group effort. Like, okay,
exactly.
we all die, good.
This
We're
is
all-
Pokemon.
I'm taking you down with me.
Yeah.
This is
Pretty much
this is Pokemon.
Once
Yeah.
you're dead, everyone's watching that last guy, and it's like, you better not fuck this up.
Bro, you better clutch this right now.
There's no Nurse Joy.
You don't get a second chance.
Unless I survive. Then you all get second chances.
Yeah.
That anime or manga must have like panels in it where there's like, dude, I revived in like 3. I'm up in 2 seconds. Come on.
It's good though. I read it yesterday. I finished the first book yesterday. It's solid. I would recommend it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's solid.
I actually just I read the first volume for Chainsaw Man.
I've been wanting to read that.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah?
I went into the city on last weekend, and we went to this one bookstore where it's like a all Japanese bookstore, so they have like fiction, nonfiction, like regular novels, and then they have a second floor which is all like the whole floor is
I've been
manga.
there. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
Almost
about.
positive
It's near
I've been
Bryant
there.
Park.
Do they have a little cafe also in
Yeah.
there? Yes.
The second floor has a cafe.
Yeah.
It's right across from Bryant Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That place is fucking awesome.
Oh, it's great.
That is like it's like a gold. And the the thing about it is that they have the manga in Japanese as well.
Okay.
So if you wanted it English and
To keep it as
Japanese,
like a-
if you want to just have like if you're a really big fan and you want to have the Japanese collection, you can buy it there as well. It's really cool because the Japanese covers on mangas are like they have like 3 times the amount of shit on it than the English covers, because there's like sometimes there's advertisements, or I guess there's like things, oh, this happens in this manga, blah, what, and they like slip off. It's really cool. Like yeah, I bought Chainsaw Man Volume 1 and I read it on the train ride home, and I was like, I gotta read more of this.
Yeah.
Because the anime is coming out as well, I think later this year maybe.
I
They
didn't
showed
know
they showed a trailer for it, and it looks really good. And the best part about it is that it doesn't seem like they're holding back on the gore, because like in the trailer he like just cuts through this guy and he explodes. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, that's the one thing I've noticed about anime, where if it has gore, they're not afraid to edit now. Like Berserk, that was like one of the goriest animes I've seen, and even like Goblin Slayer is like copying it.
Goblin Slayer.
I haven't watched it, but I know
You don't need to.
I know
episode 1.
No.
I know everyone's compares
Hey.
it to like Berserk. Like everyone's like, oh, it's like a wannabe
No.
Berserk.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't even put it in the same conversation. That's oh god, no. Yeah, it's creepy. I don't know. It almost seems like that one is for shock value. And I know like there is a story there. And I watched the whole season 1, but like it wasn't worth the cringy parts.
Okay.
Yeah, overall, no, it just wasn't. Like it was a solid 6.
Yeah, I remember with like I always thought like Titanfall was for like shock value until like I sat down and like watched the first like season, and I was like, oh wow, Titanfall actually is solid. It's not bad. Not
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
I said Titanfall. Didn't I?
yeah. I was like, Titanfall is
a
video
game,
I-
yeah.
I was giving you a chance because I'm like, I don't know if this is actually a show, like something
No, yeah,
else. Or
no,
'cause-
Attack on Titan. Yeah,
Okay.
I remember like Attack on Titan. I thought it was just like, oh, it's like it's just shock value.
Yeah,
And
same.
then like after watching it, I was like, wow, this is like a solid anime. Like now I'm finished with it. I'm waiting for the next season to come out or the next episode to come
Oh yeah.
out.
Yeah, I read the manga. It's
Yeah.
Oh.
how it wraps up.
You know, it's so funny because when it came out in 2013 and then like the first season happened and it like exploded, like everyone was talking about it. Even people who didn't watch anime, they like watched it and they were like, dude, Attack on Titan is so great. And then all of a sudden they went on like hiatus because they couldn't find a studio or something for like, what was it, like 2-3 years until the next season came out.
Yeah.
And it almost, in my opinion, makes it worth it because the show is just that good. And you've been waiting for this moment for so long, and it just pays off. And like, it's like, man, I've been watching Attack on Titan since 2013. It's 6-7 years ago, and now like all this stuff that happened in the first season is all being explained. Like, oh, this is why it happened. This person was. Wait a minute, your brain is exploding every episode when they're unveiling like what happened.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
I'm
how I
just
felt
like,
about
"Oh,
the ending.
let's
Like
go."
the ending, like the way they cut it off. I'm just like, I need more.
Yeah.
I know you read the manga, Dan, so I know
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what happens.
There's an ending, and then there's an addition to the ending.
Yep, and
like-
that's a whole nother.
It's like
thing.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There's 5 endings.
Oh boy,
The
no,
extended cut.
no, it's one ending, but like, well, they had their ending, and then they added a half chapter after that, and
Which I think you told me like they didn't really need to add that half chapter. Like
They
the
did
ending was
not.
solid.
Because
Yeah.
you said it opened up more questions than really closing them, right? You're like, wait, but
but not even
why?
many questions. It's just like, I don't want to like ruin it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it opened up something to where it's
Like why?
They might make like
why?
they might make like a second show. Like
they probably
off the-
wouldn't. They could, but they probably wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would just be silly. But yeah, it definitely it took the resolution and then just said, "Who cares?" Yeah.
Here's some extra stuff.
All right, we're just
go run with it.
The train just went off the tracks, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I guess now
100%.
it's really in a full stop.
So now my question for you guys is top, like if you had to show someone like your favorite anime fight scene, like just one,
okay.
which one would you pick for like any anime that you've watched, like the number one fight scene that you think would like hook someone into the show?
Probably the Demon Slayer fight versus a little spider kid.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay. That's a good one.
That
Yeah.
is a good one. I want like I'm really biased on it because again I have him on my arm, but I would love to say the Gohan fight. But I think the thing is with Dragon Ball Z, there's so much context you need to know before that moment. That
You need to know the stakes.
You need to know what's going on. Where someone would be like, "Oh, why is this guy blowing up half the Earth right now? Why is he yelling at this little kid?" At least with the Demon Slayer.
why is his
example,
dad just standing there
That-
watching him get the shit beat out of him?
This is
Hey,
bad.
I would
like to know
This is
too.
bad
Sensu
parenting. What is going on here? That's it. I'm rioting.
Giving Stella Sensu being like, hey, here you go.
His dad is very upset, and then Goku's there too.
I would say if I would have to pick a fight, I would probably go with like Naruto versus Sasuke at like the water that I forgot the name of the valley, like
the valley of the.
fuck, what's it called?
Yeah.
It's
You know
like-
Namek.
Yes.
But yeah, that fight again. I know you said you didn't watch Naruto, right?
No.
But have you ever seen the fight when Sasuke and Naruto really like go all out
Oh, yeah.
on each other like,
Is it
for the
like-
first time?
Oh, the first
Like,
time they
yeah,
go out?
it's
they're-
when
they're
he
kids
gets
still.
it's still like OG
When he gets the
Naruto.
curse mark.
Yeah, he gets the curse mark, takes over
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke, and then Naruto gets like the cloak, like the one tail.
Yeah.
That fight is, oh my god, that is just so good. And then the animation in that fight's really good as well.
Yeah.
Just because also that fight lasts for several like episodes. So I mean,
Yeah, that's a long
the
fight.
Demon Slayer one, the with the Spider Kid, that's like
That
2,
lasted like
3.
I think like a episode and a half. It lasted.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you
yeah.
know. So, but like the fight I'm talking about lasts. It expands over.
Yeah, that was like an entire season.
But
almost.
then I guess if you were to cut up the fight without all because in between the fights, you're going back into like Naruto's like backstory, and then
memories,
Sasuke like, oh, like you're my friend, and it's like you don't know anything about me, and then there's like 5 minutes of like what he just said for some. So I'm sure
Team
if someone
drama.
edited it and chopped it up,
Yeah.
and actually put it'd probably be I don't even know how long, like 10 minutes or
Yeah, it wouldn't be
maybe
that long.
somewhere around there. But that, in my opinion, that's just such an awesome fight.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's solid too.
So what about you, man?
I would probably it's like later on in Naruto, but I would probably pick the Kakashi versus Obito.
Oh, like the hand-to-hand combat,
Yeah,
just
just-
like no crazy jutsu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like it's all like no jutsu really. It's all just hand to hand combat. Like the fluid of the motions are like just on point. Like it looks like you're watching like a real fight almost. Either that or any fight in Jujutsu Kaisen. Every
Oh my
fight in that
God.
is just solid. That's the first anime.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first anime that took, hey, fighting one-on-one's lame. Let's gang up on this guy because he has powers.
Yep.
That's the first anime. It's like, there's no way we're gonna beat this guy one-on-one. We both are here. Let's jump him right now.
Dude, you're actually like now that you pointed out, you're right. That like, I was like what episode 12 or 13 when the guy that if he touches you he can like drain your soul or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kill you like and he's fighting Itadori right
Itadori.
yeah he and all of a sudden Itadori's like wow I'm getting my ass kicked and he's actually about to get hit and then the guy I forgot his name with like,
can't
the
remember his
blonde
name, the
hair
glasses,
he just
yeah.
comes in and he's like all right listen Itadori we have to work together to kick this guy's ass and they start whooping his ass and you're like all right this makes sense thank you.
Yeah, that's the first anime. It's like, yeah, he's got powers. We don't. Let's just jump him.
just jump there and start kicking the guy.
Call your friends. Let's beat his ass.
I'm
Gojo over here.
Oh my god, Gojo would just be like, boom, just everything dies with a
Yeah,
snap.
that's the first anime that I'm like, yeah, no, they brought logic into this. Why are
Oh,
you gonna fight one-on-one? Just
Yes.
fight one-on-two.
And the fight with Itadori and Toto versus what is it, Hinami?
Yeah, the one
The flower demon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
super cool.
God.
Super cool.
that fight, in my opinion, like if we're talking about just in the show itself, or at least in the first season, that fight, I was sitting there and I'm like, this guy is getting his ass clapped. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
as soon
Yeah.
as is Tojo, right? Is that
Toto?
Toto? Yeah,
Toto?
is it Toto?
I think
When
it's
he-
Toto.
Yeah, as soon as he starts
Bad anime
introducing,
fans.
the clapping
man.
technique,
Yeah,
and just like,
clap guy.
my God, that curse had no chance. Like it's just like clap, boom, clap,
Yup.
bam. It just every time he clapped, it was just a hit.
Best
And-
of friendo.
Oh yeah, my best friend. And then I love the part when he claps his hands, but they don't swap positions,
yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, just because I clap my hands doesn't mean I have to swap." And it wham, he gets punched by
Yep.
Itadori.
He's like, you would have thought.
Yeah, guess what, bitch?
I can
Yep.
I can clap my hands just for fun.
Oh man, that-
Sometimes I like just the sound of it.
and
The acoustics, you know?
just starts doing something like Matra, like Mario.
I mean, my favorite part of that whole scene is just how every time he claps, he has a different pose.
Yeah.
oh my God, JoJo pose. Oh, dude. But I one thing I like about the anime that I wish more animes would do, which I mean I think they kind of are because like My Hero does it as well, but they don't make the main character the only important character.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in Jujutsu Kaisen, everybody is fucking strong.
Yeah.
And like they really like let you know that, with
yeah.
Megumin and the demon dogs, he's like, oh, I got more than just the demon dogs. I got this shit too. And he like busts out like the elephant in that one episode, and you're like, oh man, this guy's busting out like all of his techniques.
Yeah,
And
I feel like all the new animes have done that. Like you said, like My Hero did that. Even Demon Slayer did that. Like not all of them are like super strong. Like each one has their own ability.
You're not waiting for Goku to come for 15 episodes to save you. Like the characters can handle themselves and actually do shit. And
Right.
Yeah, Goku.
I really
Goku doesn't
like
come
that.
back to his dead friends all over the floor and it's like, well, I'll clean this up.
Oh, man, I'm a little ticked off now. Like, that's it?
You killed Piccolo again?
And they're just
He
getting
raised my son.
God damn it.
they just get so creative with the abilities too now. Like
Yeah.
it just like every time I watch My Hero, I'm like, yo, this guy's quirk is lit. Like the
the brainwashing guy.
Shino.
Shoto, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Shino?
Shoto?
Is it Shoto?
Wait,
The
no.
one for the brainwashing.
Yeah. Is it?
Shinso.
Okay.
Shinso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He that's a really cool one. Like if you answer his question, then
Yeah,
you're
I think
brainwashed.
especially
Yeah.
since you can make him sound like anyone on your squad. I
Yeah,
think
with that
his
voice
with his
thing.
new.
I think
thing.
his
Yeah.
power is super cool. I know like a lot of people were like, it's all right, and I'm like, I
Super
don't know.
useful.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's super cool.
And
Yeah.
then what about the gentleman, the gentle criminal?
Yeah.
Was that his name? And he just creates like barriers in the air, and like if someone like when Deku like ran after him, just wham hits
Oh,
the
yeah,
air.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like that's pretty cool. Like I would have never thought to just like make solid like a solid like barrier out of like
It's definitely
oxygen
like
or air or whatever.
it's definitely interesting to see like the quirks that they come up with for like My Hero. Like you don't expect some of them, and I mean like even some of them like are a little weird. Like some of the powers I see is like, oh, this guy's just half bird. It's like that's a little weird. Like at least like Hawks can like control his feathers, but they're like just characters that's like, hey, I'm just half a bird.
yeah.
I have stapling powers. What do you mean? That's it.
Or like the guy who like Hawks takes down, where he's like, oh yeah, I just get naked, and the more I'm embarrassed, the stronger I am. Like that's just a weird power.
That's my power, actually.
That's my damn.
Yeah, the more embarrassed I am, the stronger I am.
But yeah, the quirks are amazing. I just thought of one of the Sun Eater. I don't remember his actual name, but he's part of the
Oh,
big
yeah,
three.
where he just
like
eats anything and turns into it.
He
Oh, yeah.
The last three things that he's eaten, he can like use that animal's power. So he can fly if he eats like I guess fucking like
Yeah, I mean, that's a little concerning though. How does he turn into an eagle?
Don't worry about it. Don't
yeah,
worry
like,
about it.
Guys
or
fly eagle.
he eats like he eats like a like
Octopus, he gets
like
tentacles.
yeah, he gets
arms,
the tentacles, or then if he eats
Yeah.
like
He's a clam. He gets like the hard shell for his arm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just there's so many different things you could do
Eat.
with that. Like yeah, exactly. Like,
All different things.
yeah,
you
like you think like all right, what animal can like
He
what
turns
animal
into
can I eat?
dirt. It's like, what did you do?
I fell down. I got some dirt in my mouth.
Oh my god, just that face full of dirt. That's he's just done.
Turns
I mean-
into a rock. How did you digest that?
Your morals must be really high though, because you're like, I want to turn into a tiger, but
Yeah.
I don't want to eat a tiger.
Forbidden cuisine.
The forbidden cuisine.
You
Listen,
eat Tide Pod, you
I
turn
would-
into a Tide Pod.
I would totally love that. The Tide Pod. No, the original Tide Pod challenge. This is
The
how it
forbidden fruit.
the forbidden fruit. The like he wants to become like he wants like rhino horn, but he's like, dude, I don't want to kill rhinos in Africa. That's fucked up.
But like no, like I mean, as long as he just eats a piece, like he just goes over to a tiger,
Yeah.
like, a little bite.
he just takes a chunk out of the right. Well, the thing is though, the more he eats of that food, the more the power is like stronger or lasts longer. I think that's one of the other
okay.
things about his quirk. So he's like, oh, the more I eat, the more I digest that food, the more I can hold on to like that. Because I guess there's a limit, which is another thing that's awesome about My Hero is that the creator is very imaginative with the limitations.
Oh
Like,
yeah, like
no,
how Uraka, if she uses a certain amount, she just throws up.
yeah, and then same thing with Hawks. Like he's only got so many feathers.
Yeah.
he can't just keep throwing an infinite amount of feathers. He's like, oh, I'm on my last.
Yeah,
I'm on
Midoriya
my
just
last
breaks every
stretch.
bone in his body.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Midoriya is just gonna heal like every episode.
Get the
It's
girl who
fine.
can kiss you.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all right.
Yeah.
But
It's like, this is bad news if you do anything else, unless it's not,
Yeah.
because you're the main character.
But yeah, the abilities in My Hero, and then originally, like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen, like even them, it's so cool. Like, what's
Like the Black Flash. I think the Black Flash is like super cool in that show where like they get. Is it called like the Black Flash?
yeah, so it is called the Black Flash, but it's interesting you bring that up because I'm just curious how much it's going to be used. Like I've only seen it for that episode because the episode title was called Black Flash.
Yeah.
And they say like, oh, if you concentrate like just at the right moment when you hit, and you
it's like a black
that-
light,
like
like
that-
10 times your power.
that punches. Yeah, exactly. It's like it multiplies your power by like tenfold or whatever. And it's hard to do it consecutively, but if you do,
And then
what did he say? You
just
go
did a
into
bunch.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, that was the thing. It's like, oh
Every
yeah,
time I punch you, getting hit with it.
He's like, oh, the record was this. And then, okay, yeah, you broke it.
15 is the record.
all right.
Cool. I tried 169.
And it's 69. What's it called? Like the one chick I think is Maggie. It's like one of the twin sisters. She can't use curse energy, but she can wield the weapons that are
Yeah.
infused with it. And again, I thought that was really cool. Like they just kind of like, oh, not everybody can use it, but she's so skilled with like the weapons and like martial arts that
Mhm.
she's gonna kick ass. You know,
Of course, my favorite character, Panda-san.
Oh, panda the panda.
Good old.
He is a panda.
He was born a panda, just taught to fight.
Yep. Everyone doubts him. He is a panda.
Yeah, no, that
His
man
his backstory was him of a baby panda.
literally, they're just like, I raised you when you were just a baby. And like, okay, that's
I
it.
taught
you know?
you English and I taught you how to fight.
It's so funny when they first meet the panda and they're just like talking to the students. Like, is no one gonna point out the panda here? Like, and just I love when anime does that. They're just like, don't worry about it. This is just normal now.
Yeah, that's panda.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I
It's just
talked
panda.
to you about that, where I was like, you were telling me about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, yeah, that's the one with the panda, right? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that.
And me
Everyone just
watching
thinks
it, I was
it's a
like, yeah, there's a panda. It's the same thing. It's like where you're gonna introduce to him, you're like, a panda, and then it's like, yeah, there's a panda, and then you just accept it.
Every good anime has a random animal can talk.
I mean, literally, that's like when I saw the images for Jujutsu Kaisen, and my cousin was trying to get me to watch it, and I was just like, why is there a panda? No, he was like, watch the intro, like the opening music, and of course the opening has the panda in it, and I was like, bro, what's with the panda? And he's like, you'll see.
Do we talk about this? No, not really.
No,
So,
we're gonna
it's just thrown in there, like
just shuffle
never
aside
brought
it,
up for
yeah.
like another like 20 episodes.
I just want to know how you learn to talk.
Yeah,
That's my
right.
biggest question.
Don't
Like,
worry about it.
you know, fighting, I understand. You know,
The Ninja Turtles learned how to talk. You know what I mean?
I'm
fair enough.
Fuck, you
Fair
know,
enough.
Those are the OGs.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. But yeah, and anime's getting so creative, and it's just awesome. You know, what else can I say about it? Just the creativity that these mangaka come up with. Mangaka, right?
Mangaka, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I just sit there like and I'm watching the show and I'm like, how the fuck do these guys come up with this shit? And then also, depending on like the show, like for Naruto, for example, that show's ending had to do with something that happened all the way in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how do you plan that out over like 15 years? Like, do you know it's going to end like this, or do you kind of just go on the fly? Like
feel
One
like-
Piece is on the fly. Like the creator was just like, I can just do
Creator's
whatever I
just
want.
freestyling
Yeah.
right now.
But at least with Naruto, like everything connected at the end, and I'm like, did this guy know about all this like 15 years or however long Naruto ran for?
yeah,
it
it ran
blows
for
my
a
mind.
while. I remember watching that when I was in like middle school, and that
Oh,
was
it's been going for a long ass
Yeah,
time.
no, I think when Naruto started, it was like really like very early 2000, like maybe even 2000.
I think it came out earlier than
Oh, the
that.
manga?
I think-
Yeah, earlier.
Well, I'm talking about the anime.
Well, yeah, I
Like,
think
anime was like
I think it was like
2000?
Dragon Ball Z, where I think it came to the U.S. later than it was in Japan.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, because I remember, I think I looked it up, and it was like, I think it was either early 2000s or like the late 1990s,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly.
For the anime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like even for the manga, I think it was like 1990, like
Yeah.
7 or something like that. That like they created it.
We could look it up, but you know what? That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we have all this technology around us, but we're just gonna wing it. Fuck
Nah,
it. You know,
yeah.
we're not experts.
At me,
Fact check us.
Yeah,
Don't fact check us.
Yeah, please don't fact check.
at me for the fact check.
Add somebody else for the fact check. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah.
What are you guys watching now?
Right now, I'm watching Fire Force. Actually, I'm still
Good.
watching it.
Anime's fire.
Yeah, super,
Pun
I
intended.
mean, literally,
Yeah, it's great.
literally everything's on fire in that anime.
I'm getting up.
Yeah, it's
Dan.
kinda
Dan, I'm
Leave
done.
it.
Get up again.
No, it's solid. You're the one that introduced it to me, and you're like, yeah, just watch it. Like I was kind of like in and out of it for like the first season. I'm like, and like I can't really get up to it. But then like once you get to like a certain point, I was like, no, this is actually it's solid. It's not
gets
bad.
real good, yeah.
Like right now, I'm loving it right now. Like I'm like, oh, this is solid. I'm not gonna say anything,
Yeah.
like, 'cause I don't want to spoil anything. But like,
Yeah, like the rest of the episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like second season, absolute fire right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
only on like episode 4 right now, and it's still like super good.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's again like my previous point. That's just another anime where the creator was like, "All right, I'm gonna make an anime about firefighters, but they're gonna have
But they
unique
fight
fire.
literal
but they're,
fire.
They're gonna have unique fire powers to fight the fire demon or whatever they are.
Fight fire with fire.
I mean,
It-
literally,
yeah.
Obi's my favorite character right now, just because he's like, yeah, I don't got powers, but I'll just beat the shit
Oh,
out of you.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
The
oh,
captain.
dude, that yeah.
Like, I don't got powers, but I got fists. You get catch these hands today.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, he's great.
And, let me point out the sound effects in that show.
Oh, the explosions are so nice.
Are just next level, dude. Like I don't even know. They must have. The creator was like, please make the greatest sounds I've ever heard. Anytime does like a hit. Like what was the one captain in the village where he just like destroys half of it all, and you just like.
Yeah, I think I was
And I'm
telling
what
you
the
about
heck?
that, where I'm like,
It's so awesome.
the sound effects are like out of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard they actually destroyed villages to make those sound effects.
Yeah, yep.
they
It's
actually
really horrible.
they're like, we got to get this as accurate as possible.
This needs to be accurate.
You're evicted. Why?
You're gonna
Because
help
we
us
need to blow up this house real quick for this anime.
You're gonna help us rebuild, right? No, it's for an anime.
No, this is it.
No, sorry.
you live.
We'll
here
see
now.
we'll see what profit we make.
If we make something good, you'll get cut.
You were in the house destruction like draft. Sorry, your name was picked. Fuck.
We took a dart, we threw it at the next town.
we
It happened to hit you.
we threw it at the map. All right, and here, tell everyone in a 2-mile radius to get out.
That's it.
God. Yeah,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Fire Force is good though. It's just like when I looked at the art and I was like, a firefighter anime, and then I just watched the first a couple episodes. I'm like, wow, this is actually really good.
Even the color on their uniforms when it glows blue.
Oh,
It's
cool.
it's super nice.
I wanted to do a for the last KatsuCon, which was 2019, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
2019.
yeah.
Well, is it in February?
Jesus
or?
Christ. Yeah, it's in February.
So did they have it last year?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because I think
Did
I think
they
around
cancel it that early?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
just
so
figured
it's
because usually the
2019.
things start closing in like March, so I didn't know if they had it still.
Yeah, no, because I think even Comic-Con. I think this is the first time Comic-Con's back in like 2 years.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, you don't know. We did go in
Right?
2020.
Because things didn't close yet until like March.
Yeah, it was a conversation at the time, COVID. But it was more just like, oh, there's this virus going around. Hopefully it doesn't come here, and then it totally did.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and it was totally there.
Oh yeah,
it was already there.
When
we
you were
bought our
talking about it, it was there. Yeah.
We bought our tickets.
Yeah, it was.
We're going.
But luckily, I was overhaul, so I had a mask on anyway.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep, Jen, my fiance, brought the hand sanitizer little.
Oh,
little
so you
care
guys
package.
were ready for COVID
We
before
were all-
COVID was a thing.
We were ready anyway, yeah, because we heard about it and we're like, that sounds kind of sus. But yeah, so we brought it.
vodka.
COVID.
Sussy, yeah,
Sussy Baka COVID.
kind of a dick, honestly. But yeah, so
Fuck COVID. Fuck that guy.
we were prepped, yeah.
No, it created Jujutsu Kaisen. Make a COVID character. Let
Make it
Yukitori and
COVID.
everyone else just beat them down.
A curse, yeah.
Just make a COVID curse. And
I need
just
that
get the
closure.
shit out of it.
Yeah, beat the shit out of it.
Instead of a 2-man fight, just bring the whole entire cast in there.
The whole squad.
Even the bad guys. Throw the bad guys in there.
But you were gonna cosplay as like one.
Oh,
of
I
the
was gonna
characters?
cosplay
Yeah,
as a Fire Force character, but it turned out to be a lot of work because like I don't do cosplay
Got the
that
LEDs.
much. Yeah, because I would have had to set up the LEDs with the battery packs and all that, and like I was gonna bring like some stuff from work because I do utility work, so like I could have like used some of the stuff from there. I could have got an extra hard
like the
hat
pants
and like
and stuff.
yeah, and the pants and whatnot, and like altered it, but like I had like con procrastination, so I just didn't do
Oh,
anything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so I just ended up not doing it. But like that was the idea. I was gonna alter some of the stuff I had from work and just like make a cool ass costume. Maybe 1 year.
yeah.
Maybe 1 year.
Hope that would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, the outfits in the show. I have a figure of the main character.
Mhm.
It's been a while since I watched it, so I forgot his name. What's his name?
Shino, right?
Is it Shino?
What are we
I-
talking about?
The main
Fire
character
Force.
of Fire Force.
main
It's
character.
Shino, right?
I think you're right. But it's so cool because one of the if you hold the figure under black light, all the blue lights light up like in the
Okay.
show.
Oh, it's
So,
dope.
so I was like, damn, this is really cool. Like they put that amount of detail into the statue, and it's a decent size. It's like 10 inches tall, but he's like in a kicking motion, and if you put a black light, like I said, over it already, it glows, and that was one of the selling points. I'm like, that's pretty cool. You don't see a lot of figures that
Yeah.
if you shine like a black light or something over it, like glows in the dark and etc. But
That's cool.
yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, the outfits are awesome because the outfits change for some of the characters. And
Yeah.
like the outfits like glow in different spots, or like the one guy has like the tuba horn, and I was like,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
guy is really
Yeah.
that guy is awesome. I
Where he
love
just
that guy.
freezes everything.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I converted the heat into like steam, and then I turned the steam into like just.
I don't
ice.
fight
I'm like,
fire with fire.
yeah.
I fight fire with ice.
I'm like, what? That guy's cool.
he's
Yeah,
dope.
Fire Force is definitely a goat anime. Is there anything else you want to add about it, or?
Nah, it's just like that's the first one. That's the one I've just been recently watching, and I actually started watching the one that you introduced us to the 2 weeks ago.
Konosuba?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I started watching that again.
Oh, it's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's solid.
Yeah, big time. So
I-
funny.
I am watching Dr. Stone. season 2.
Oh,
And
so good.
have you watched Doctor
No,
Stone?
I've never watched
Bro,
Dr. Stone.
very good.
Doctor Stone. It's just because the whole
Is that the one where it's like time travel? Is that?
It's not time travel. So, I mean, the premise of the show is that in the first episode, everyone gets turned into stone and no one knows why. There's just like this anomaly that happens, and everybody in the world just gets turned into stone. And Senku wakes up, and he's like, of course, he's like this 16-year-old like mad scientist genius. He knows how to make everything, and his goal when he wakes up is I want to rebuild everything back to the modern age, because now they're in like just the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have nothing. It's been what was it? The show said it's like 3,500 years later, and he wakes up, and so he he finds other people, civilians, and he finds a way to like break them out without them breaking out on their own or over
Hammer.
time. And
A hammer.
Just throw a hammer at them.
yeah, just
Hope for the best.
and
Trial and error with the hammer.
if
Yep.
you are into like science experiments and like how things work, the show it's just so informative, because Senku just goes, all right, so we're gonna need this, and like we're gonna get sulfur, but we're gonna mix the sulfur with this, and it's gonna create like this iron or substance or whatever material,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna use that to make this, and then
And
that's
now we
gonna
have
give
the internet.
and well, one of the things in the that he makes like a cell phone or
Yeah.
like an old time like cell phone, but it still works, and I don't know.
I mean, who's
It's cool.
though.
It's cool.
You really should watch it.
Eventually,
It's
it gets to the point
definitely-
eventually where I'm just like, I don't follow anymore. But it's still cool. I'm like, I see you, but like,
I see you, but I don't.
I don't feel like I could do this anymore. Like in the beginning of the show, you're like, oh, maybe I could do this. Like if I get stranded somehow, you're like, I could probably do this. I can memorize
get
this and do
cell
this.
phone.
And then after a certain point, I'm just like, nah. No, I'll die. I guess I'll die.
Make a car.
This,
Yeah.
this isn't Bear Grylls anymore. This I
No.
don't know how to build an engine.
No.
Oh, but yeah, Doctor Stone is like one of the animes I'm watching right now. I think it's still going. It's what's it called? Like, how many episodes am I up to? Like 40 or 40 something? I have to check, but I think it's still running right now.
The season, no.
No, is it over?
The manga's still going, but yeah, the season's over.
Okay.
I think when I said time travel, I think I was thinking of Steins Gate.
Oh,
I think that's the thing I thought it was.
Steins Gate's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I never saw that, but I think that's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
Steins Gate.
Steins Gate's
is a
one of
good
my top. Yeah, it's very very good.
time travel though. It gets mad confusing.
Yeah, that's why I was
sometimes.
like. That's why I was like, oh, that's the one time travel. And then when you're like, no, I was like, oh, I was thinking of Steins
No, it's
Gate.
about the Stone Age. Oh well, did they time travel to the Stone Age?
Kind of. Time skip. The biggest time
It
skip.
was a time skip, even
But
more,
I mean,
even
like-
more than one piece.
Yeah.
Would that be considered time travel? Because, like, when you travel through time, you think you're going to get something better. And this one, you
Well-
just get Stone Age.
It
I don't
well,
know.
no, it wouldn't be time travel because you weren't the one that purposely initiated the time travel. You just got frozen, and you
True.
were like, well, what do I do now? And and the character just counts every second, and that's how he knows it's been like 3,000.
Yeah,
which
so
is,
he-
again, it's ridiculous.
He
but-
was frozen. He was, stoned. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, he was.
he was frozen. Well,
Whatever
it
you
would
wanna
be
call
frozen,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
was
basically
stoned.
frozen in time.
He was
and, like,
solidified. There you go.
something like that. Yeah, he got real hard. And so for every second, I guess immediately he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be forever." He was like,
one,
"It's gonna be a long
two,
time."
three.
So yep, he started counting the
Starts
seconds, and it's just been he counted for it was a couple thousand years or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, he counted the seconds of
What a
the whole
nerd.
time.
He finds like
nerd.
yeah,
absolute
Nerd. Got nothing better to do than count.
I guess literally, yeah, you can't move. So petrified.
sleep.
That's the word. Yeah,
You scared?
He was probably no. You know what? Honestly, he didn't. Seem
No,
that
it's,
scared. Yeah.
dude, this kid is just like, this is great. I'm just gonna count until I break out because I'm that smart at 16 years old.
I mean, I feel like you wouldn't be able to count if you were frozen.
Well,
He's using cheat codes.
his conscience
He
is
is
still,
using
you know,
he's,
it's all right.
he's not really smart. He's just his cheat codes that no one else can see. He's got God
Up
mode
down,
on.
up down, left, left, right, start, select.
Like, oh yeah. By the way, I made this. I made this. All that stuff that you gave me that I mixed together. It's a cell phone now.
That helicopter didn't totally just land behind the tree.
Nope. I made it with bark and rock.
All right. Well,
man.
I could use the bathroom. So this is normally where we would take a break for the sponsors, but we We don't have any sponsors.
There's no sponsors yet.
No, there's no Manscaped ads, no mattress ads, nothing yet. So I'm just gonna pause this and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome back to Compactcast. With the magic of editing, we'll send this off to our editor and they'll fix it. We're
with
back.
the boys.
Immediately. Yep.
Just
Like
like
we never
that.
left.
Totally did. We just teleported to the bathroom.
Yep.
Came
Yep.
back like that instant.
10 seconds. Yeah, that's all I need.
The magic of editing.
Instant teleportation.
So, are you guys gonna go to any cons or anything?
Well, I've never been to a con before.
Right.
Oh.
I'm thinking about going. When I don't know when they have the next one.
They
I
have,
think they already had it.
Oh, they've had a couple, but I mean, the next one I'm going to is in February. That's like the first one
This
where
February or
Oh, you're not gonna
Yeah,
go to.
this
You're
February.
not gonna go to Anime NYC.
I don't know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go yet or not, but I'm definitely gonna go to KatsuCon in February.
I think I might have to tag
gotta
along
check
with
it
you.
out.
I
Yeah.
would love to try it because you said it's like it's a big cosplay
Party.
con
Yeah.
party. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And they do have a artist alley as well.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Anime NYC I would like to go to, but we'll see how it shakes out, you know. But Jimmy, trying to go to any?
As someone,
I
as
definitely
someone,
want to try to.
as someone who's never been to a con, like what do you think of it? Like, do you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what are your
Well, I mean, I almost went to one to work it. My job was doing like security for them, so I was like, I almost went to it, but I mean, I definitely want to go to one. It looks cool. All the booths definitely look cool there. Like the fact that you can buy whatever you want there, pretty much.
you spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can control yourself, you know. I mean, like I know I usually bring like 200 or 300 just in case, and I'm like, all right, let's see if there's something cool around. And
The figures, honestly, they're usually not a great price, but sometimes you'll see something that is hard to find, and then I guess you could pick it up. But you know, that's not your go-to place for like if you want figures really. But like the artist alley,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
yeah.
like all the pictures that like people will like
Yeah,
paint.
all the prints and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really like where I spend a lot of my money because I'm just like, dude, this looks awesome, and this would be like if you hung it up on the wall, lit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, figures are one thing because I mean some of the booths have just like your regular band Presto, and they're still usually like 25 or 30. And like, okay, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
I don't-
still
I don't mind
looks
snagging
fine.
this. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like the official box or whatever you want to call it. But then it really gets out of hand when you get to like the 1/4 or the 1/6 scales or like the bunny outfit figures, and then you know the guy's like, oh, this one's 400, and then I look it up online and its retail price was like 270. I'm like,
Right.
Nah, I'm okay.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
I'm
don't want
out.
to spend an extra $150. Let's see if they do like a rerun of it, or maybe I'll find a seller on like AmiAmi
yeah.
or like maybe eBay if someone has it for maybe like a little bit more.
Big
But
time. Yeah.
yeah, I actually own 1/4 scale statue, and that's Ryuku Matoi from Kill la Kill, and that is like she's like one of my favorite I guess my waifu or my my best girl or whatever. I don't know about best girl, but she's down. I'm like, this is it. This is you're the one. But I have her in like the bunny outfit like figure, and I got really lucky because they did a rerun of it, and it was sold like 2 or 3 years ago, and then they just made it again for some reason, and then I was like instant pre-order.
That's
I was like I need this. But yeah, you know, sometimes you find treasures at, you know, cons. It depends on which one you go to, and there's so many booths. You spend so much time just walking around because, at least with Anime NYC, like, you know, you went every year so far, or like, you know, like what was it, 20?
I went 3 times.
Yeah, it was 2017, 18, and 19, and then that's when COVID happened. And they
So maybe I went every year.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like they've only been out for. It was going to have their 4th year in 2020, but you know everything happened, and it was just so cool to see how it went from like such a. Have you ever been in the Javits Center?
No.
So the Javits Center is huge because they hold Comic-Con there as well, NYCC, and Anime NYC had like the left corridor only, and then they had like a giant wall that cut off the rest of the convention center, and then it went from that, and then the next year they kind of opened it up a little bit more. They kind of like grew a third in size, and then the 3rd year they opened up like the entire section they originally closed off, and that's where like all the artist alley and like vendors and stuff came in, and it's just so cool to see how much it's grown. Like I think even the CEO or the founder of Anime NYC, the president, he usually makes like a statement after it happens, like, oh, thank you so much for coming. Like, you know, our attendance grew like twice or 3 times the amount in like the last, you know, since we began. And it's like, holy shit, you know, it's cool to see the support for anime, you know, in the Western side now, and how much it's getting popular and how much it's growing. But yeah, cons are friggin' awesome, man. Especially like, you know, you see so many cosplayers there. You know, some of the cosplayers, you're like, dude, how'd you make this?
I mean, my favorite cosplay is the guy that went as Comic-Con.
I missed that one.
No, he went as Comic-Con?
I saw a picture of him. He went as the building that Comic-Con was being held in.
Oh, no, I've seen
great.
that guy. He went as the Javits Center.
That's
I've
awesome.
actually, I took a picture of him, I'm pretty sure, on my phone, and everyone was just like, why?
Yeah, no, he won cosplay.
Dude.
You can't up a building.
Yeah, no, you can't. That
That's
guy
it.
was genius. He was like, I'm just going to go as the building, and I'm just going to win everything because I'm the building. I am the Javits Center.
The most recognition.
I
Yeah.
am cosplay.
You know this building. You literally walked into it just now. So
Yeah, I actually want to cosplay this Anime NYC. I want to be a Kirishima from My Hero. He's the guy. He's like the hardening quirk.
yeah,
And I met a guy on the party boat, who he builds props, and he's built like Warhammer like 40K like stuff. He's like been the Emperor and like one of the regular Marines or like base units, and he's built some like other stuff that like it's still in progress. But he was like, yeah, dude, if you want to send me like your he like, you know how he has like the shoulder pieces, that's like the hardest part. And the rest, you know, I just get like a pair of black pants and like some brown boots and like get a belt. And, you know, it requires some work, but
rock hard abs.
you know, and that too, you know, I mean, I would love to, because obviously it would just look more like the character, but you know, it is what it is.
You just gotta tape some rocks to you.
That's it.
I'll,
rock hard.
Yeah, I'll just that actually would be pretty funny. Like,
That's it.
you know, you just get one of those vests, or just wear a T-shirt, and it just looks like abs.
The muscle,
like, yeah, I
the
got
muscle
the
tee,
muscle
yeah.
tee.
Perfect.
Was it anchor arms?
Yeah.
And then for the ladies, hairy. But yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I really want to, because I have a group of friends that we're like semi-committed. You know, my one friend's already bought like the outfit for Bakugo, and my one friend kind of looks like Uraka already, so she only has to just get like the onesie or the whatever you want to call it, like the suit. And I'm like, all right, you know, I think we can do this. And actually, Jen's cosplayed as Todoroki, right?
Yeah.
So she could, if you guys end up going, you can be part of our group and you just be Overhaul again. You know, that would be pretty lit.
We were
But
considering
it depends
doing
on if
the
you
big
go.
3.
I gotta get into shape
That'd
for
be
that.
that'd be really cool.
He was gonna be Muriel.
Yeah, I was gonna say who you're gonna be. You said you wanted to be the Sun Eater guy. Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool, man. That would be really awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta get into a little bit better shape before that day comes.
You know, you think that, and then you see other people who do the cosplay, and it's like, that was fine. Actually,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, cosplay's for everyone. That's like the thing. You know, if you
Yeah.
want to cosplay someone, just go for it, man. Don't worry about all this extra crap. You know, everyone's there for the same reason. Everyone's gonna be like, dude, you know, whoever you cosplay as, and you know, I've seen people who look exactly like the character, and then I've seen some people who look like nothing like them at all, but it's still, you know, the passion and the thought that they put into it, and you know, that's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
So
I always get a hold up because I'm like, I don't want to shave. So whatever character I do, I'm like, do they have a beard? Usually
They got a
not.
beard, though.
But
Yeah.
at least since you were Overhaul, you just put the mask
Exactly.
on, and you're like, all right, good. I don't
Exactly.
have to shave. I just put this on, and I look like the character now.
Yep. Overhaul works. Zeke Yeager, he has a beard. You know, it was good to go. You know,
There you go.
I'll figure some others out.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll
Yeah.
be good.
Or I
Make it
mean,
work.
just make him have a beard.
Yeah, but with beard.
Yeah.
This character with beard.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jimmy, is there someone that you would want to cosplay as? Like, is there someone that comes immediately to mind that like, oh, it'd be cool to put this together and see if I can pull this off?
I mean, the only one I thought of was like doing the big 3 with Jen and Dan. Like
Okay.
just doing Mirio.
Mhm.
That was like the only one I could think of.
I mean, I would say just go for it.
Yeah, 'cause
Fuck
there's
it.
really nothing else that I was like, so caught up on like thinking like I'm gonna cosplay as this.
Like nothing from Dragon Ball or Naruto or
Not really.
No.
Dragon Ball's tough. It's tough to do because like
You gotta get
you
the
know
you
if
gotta
you
get
get
the
the
pointy
wig,
hair,
oh god,
Ah, the
dude,
wig.
and the wigs
Yeah.
never look good.
No, the wigs are almost always terrible.
But I think that's just become like a staple now. Like everyone knows the wigs aren't going to be spot on because it's just super unrealistic. So everyone's like,
Well, I saw one I saw a like a little picture. There's like this mother did her son's hair like Super Saiyan Goku because he wanted his hair like just done like that for school. So
Yeah.
she took and like she hairsprayed like every piece of his hair and made it like look exactly like it. It looked really cool. Like it looked exactly like the hair.
Mom of the year,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
best mom.
I was like, that's super cool.
Yeah,
oh, dude, that's going to be like the best thing about like this next generation of like of kids and adults is that like, you know, now we're all like in our 20s, late 20s, and you know, we're all going to be those. I mean, now, like every parent is going to be like, oh, I grew up with anime. You're going to grow up with anime. And you know, now like there's not going to be that cool parent anymore because every parent's going to be the cool parent.
Every
You
You know,
parent's gonna have a kid
they've
named
become the
Bakugo.
norm now.
oh
so
god,
Deku, Bakugo. Every parent's gonna have a kid named something.
all the Bakugos in kindergarten.
All the sussy ones.
Yeah,
yo, what's your name? Karishima.
What's
What?
yours? My name's Sussy Baka.
Sussy Baka.
no.
My name's Nagatoro. You know, everyone's gonna name all these fucking kids after.
I sure hope
anime
not. That's awful. Oh god.
If you got a parent who names you Hisaki, gotta get out of there.
Yep, 100%.
kid. What's up?
Yep.
All right, who is Orochimaru here? Like, yeah, I am.
That's me. Yeah.
Can you just please
Can you
call
call
me?
me O?
Can you just call me Jim?
Just yeah,
Jake,
Jim.
you just call me Jake. Just please. That's my nickname. That's my. But it says it right. No, please,
Don't read that. It's a misspelling.
Just call me O from now on.
Mr. O. Oh yeah, dude. But the conventions, man, they're just awesome. I mean, the only two I've been to are Anime NYC and Comic Con. I haven't been to any other ones. Like you said, you've been to KatsuCon. I would love to go to San Diego Comic Con one year, but you know, I don't know how hard it is to get tickets for that. I don't know if it's like the same.
And it's hard
as-
to get Comic-Con tickets in general, you know. So I'd imagine still pretty difficult.
but you
And
know,
then to get a book a flight and a hotel around it as well.
yeah, it's you know the cons we've been naming though are like very big name cons. You know, obviously like Comic Con is hugely known, and I've seen some cons in like Florida that I thought would be cool to go to, and then there's been some local ones here, but the local ones, like, I mean, they're nice obviously for just, you know, here, like you get like a good group of people, but it's just not enough for like the whole day. Like you go to it and you're there for like 2 hours. I'm like, okay, I've seen everything.
Right. And yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like I like going to Comic-Con and Anime NYC because like I know I can go for several days. I have an excuse to do something.
Get something new out
Yeah,
of it.
you know, I'm like I get to do something today.
Right. Yeah, events.
Not
and
just
whatnot
for like
are
an
planned.
hour, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I would love to go. I would love to go to San Diego Comic Con one day. Even Emerald City, which is in Seattle.
Mhm.
That's like they what do they have? There's a big con every like the big four, which and New York Comic Con is in October, so that's fall. They have Emerald City, which is like March, so that's the spring one, and then San Diego's in July usually, so that's the summer. I don't know the winter one, or if there really is a winter one. I don't know if there's 4 or 3, but because the Funko Pops, they have like the fall collection, winter collection, summer collection.
Mhm.
Shit, there's
ones.
the Christmas one. I'm forgetting.
Yeah, there's like I don't know the winter one. It's flying over my head, but I know like the Funko Pops. If you buy them at the con, it'll have like the New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con
okay.
sticker.
Mhm.
But if you buy them somewhere else, like because they'll be shared through like Hot Topic or GameStop or whatever, they'll have the 2020 fall convention exclusive.
Okay.
You know, so and that's a big thing in the Funko Pop world. Like people they're like it needs to have the New York Comic Con sticker because it's just that much, you know, it's that more rare.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, all right, like I have a decent amount of Funko Pops, but I'm not like trying to spend more than $40 or $50 on a pop.
On a pop, I don't want to even.
you know,
I spend the bare minimum.
Yeah,
I spend like the $10.
It depends for me. Like I really have to like the series in order to get the pop. And like the only one I ever spent a decent amount of money on was probably one of like the My Hero pops, and that was like 40 or 50, just because it was again like a Comic-Con one, and I'm like, all right, like I don't mind spending it on this just because I like having the collection. Like I have a big shelf with all the pops on it. But yeah, dude, I think one of the first line of My Hero pops that came out, there was a like battle hardened Deku or something, and it was like him when he fought like the Nomu at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And like his outfit was like ripped off like halfway, and that was like it was a Hot Topic exclusive, and they made a small batch of it, and so it went from like the $15 price tag, and it started going on eBay for like $300.
Oh jeez.
And I was like, bro, I don't know how anybody spends this kind of money on like this kind of stuff. I was like, dude, I can't. Like no, I'm not gonna waste that money. And then sure enough, later down the line, they released a second wave of it and a lot more of them. So it went from like 300 to like 75. And then my buddy, he actually just gave me the pop for my birthday because he was like, well, they're not worth as much as they are anymore. So
I would have made you spend $300, but they're cheap now.
So he was like, well, you know, yeah. So Funko Pops, they get crazy, man. But you know,
figures in general, the price is so variable. And I thought like I went to Japan like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, and I was like, I hit up Akihabara, and I was like, oh, figures gonna be dirt cheap. Nah, they know the tourists go there. They're like, oh yeah, Electric City, Anime City. Like we're gonna scalp you.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and they did.
That's the thing though, is that like Akihabara, they again, you know, that is like the tourist spot for foreigners who are big into like the otaku culture.
Yep.
But
they know what they're doing.
I've seen, you know, I've seen videos or I've seen like forums where if you literally go maybe 5 minutes away from Akihabara and go to like other manga stores or figure stores, like it'll be like maybe 20% or 30% cheaper because you're not in that area, because they know like people, oh, I'm gonna buy it here, not, you know, it's
absolutely.
So you know,
you're paying the same price as you pay here if you go to like Akihabara. Like,
but
the same thing.
The nice thing about it is that if you're going to Japan and you feel like picking up a figure, then you don't have to pay for like the shipping, the international shipping. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And sometimes depending on where you get it from or how many figures you're getting, it adds up because you gotta add all that.
You gotta kind of pay for international shipping because you internationally shipped yourself there.
Yeah.
That's true. But that's why I said it's just the convenience. Like, what? How long did you go for?
8 days.
So I mean, you know, you went on an 8-day vacation
just for the figures, though.
Just
I didn't go for anything else. I just wanted.
So
the
I was in
thing was a wash.
Akihabara every day.
Yeah, I was waiting for the shipments every day.
I was like, Jen, I'm going again. He's like, Dan, not again, please. Like, no, I must go.
We have to eat. No. Yep. No, it was great. Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. Japan was amazing, though.
Yeah. That's gonna have to be another.
You're like the grandfather from Holes. I can't do this anymore, Yes, you can.
Yep, that's too damn bad.
It's too damn bad.
Yep.
Oh man, see, like I have the otaku that has a bunch of figures, and I mean, like I've been collecting figures for like 4-5 years. You know, there's been a good span of time now. So like I have a lot of stuff, but it's been bought over a good amount of period of time. So like I mentioned, the most expensive figure I have is actually it's the Diva statue from Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
And you know that thing is fucking huge. It's like at least
like
2 feet.
5'7".
It's like it's a 1-to-1 scale. It can't even fit in my room.
It's alive.
Mom's
Yeah.
like,
every time I get up,
where's your bed? I had to move my bed.
Every time I get up in the morning, I get terrified because I think someone's watching me.
And they are.
So I have the Diva statue, which is like I think like 2 feet tall, or maybe even a little bigger. But that one was like I got it on sale. Luckily, there was like a winter sale on the Blizzard website. So normally it's like $450, but I bought it for like $350.
Okay.
So that's the most expensive one I've bought. And then I think the one right under that is the Ryuku Matoi one, where that one's like $215, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that was after like shipping and handling and stuff. That was maybe like 220 something.
I haven't
somewhere
bought
around there.
any expensive figures.
No, I think the most I spent is like the what are they called? The ones that we usually get.
Band Presto.
The Band Presto,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
which is like what, like $30 sometimes.
Yeah,
I
at
think that's the
most,
most
yeah.
expensive.
yeah. It's a nice price for a good quality like size,
like
a
good
decent,
looking.
exactly.
One. Yeah.
I saw one. It was someone was buying. It was Naruto and Sasuke, and it was like two separate like statues. And
But if you put them together, they okay.
And it was like I think the guy had like the Naruto one, and then he showed like the Sasuke one. It was like, or no, it was the Sasuke one. He was showing the Naruto one. It was like $1,500. And I was like, I don't think I could
Not in
ever
this
spend that
economy.
much.
Oh,
No.
is that YouTuber, like the Viet Collector? There's like a YouTuber that has a whole collection of like huge but like they're big, like they're the size of this table, So
I saw one where it was like it was Gaara, like they had like Gaara's whole sand shield with like the spikes going through it.
And it's like for the price that you pay, at least if you're getting something that big, that's like worth it. But you have to be committed like that guy. Whereas most of my figures are Band Presto stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're like $25, figures. I have like, the main cast from My Hero, like Deku, Bakugo, All Might, Araka, Froppy. I have like whatever 8 characters. So
Yeah, the material is whatever, but it
exactly.
looks good.
Exactly. It looks great, but then it just falls down. It just falls down the rabbit hole. So like I started with the Funko Pops. They're like $12. Like, oh, cool, these look awesome. And then you start collecting enough of them where you get like a cool like shelf, or like you fill up a line, and you're like, oh, this looks awesome. And then you're like, oh, here's like some Band Presto stuff. And now you're like, oh, it's $25. And you start getting those, and you're like, oh, these are cool, but I want bigger. And then you get like, then I
want life size.
Then I started buying like, some like 1/7 scale or 1/6 scale, and they start getting to like 100. And I actually have this app called Tokyo Otaku Mode, or like Tom for short. And what's really cool about that app, or that specific like figure provider or seller, is when you can sign up for TOM Premium. And so what is you either spend $15 every 3 months or $60 for the whole year. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same price, but it's just however you want to pay for it. You want to pay for it annually or monthly, and you earn rewards back. So if you buy or pre-order a figure that is newly introduced, like, oh, this was just announced today, it says you get 15% cash back. So if you buy the figure and say, it's $100, you get $15 back in credit. And then if you keep, like, for example, I've been using them for 3 years. And so I've accumulated to like $300 worth of like credit. Mm-hmm. So I can use that money to buy like an expensive figure, and it just pays off. Now, I know it sounds like I'm like, oh, I have $300 in credit, and you're thinking in your head like, oh man, you must have spent like a lot of money on this website. But the cool thing about them is that they usually have a big winter and summer like sale, and so they'll be like, oh, certain figures you get like 30% back on. So you can imagine I'd be like, well, I'm gonna see like, if there's a figure that has that deal on it, I'm gonna get it, because I'm gonna get like almost half of the money back in credit. And so, for me, I've spent a decent amount of money on the website, but that's usually where I get most
Taking
of my
out
figures.
a mortgage.
Yeah. I'm
gonna build a house out of all my statues.
crippling debt.
But it's all right. I got $300 back, so.
Yeah, it's okay, But I've definitely slowed down the past year, and I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or it's just because I think it's just more because I'm thinking of like, more financial purchases I want to make. So
it's also getting to the point where you have so many, you have to have
you have
figure,
no room for them.
Right, and then you have to have the figure tournament arc, and you have to pit them against each other.
Throw them at each other, whichever one breaks
See who
goes on to
survives.
the next one.
Exactly.
Damn it, they lied about this material.
Right.
It's like the Skittles, or like the M&Ms. You take 2 M&Ms, whichever one crushes the first one, you throw that one out, you move on to the next round.
It's the same thing.
God damn it. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I've definitely done that before where I've crushed. I'm like, which one's going to crack first? Ah, man.
I mean, it's a party game with eggs.
The integrity test, yeah.
Yeah. One person takes an egg, you both smack the egg, whichever one breaks is the loser.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
But with figures, yeah.
But yeah, actually, the big thing is actually the space. You know, I've collected a decent amount to the point where space is becoming an issue. It's not so much. I mean, obviously, it is like financially too. Like, I don't want to just throw all my money into the figures. Like, I have a decent collection where I'm like, okay, I'm pretty happy with this. But also, again, you fall into that figure rabbit hole where you see something and I'm like, damn, I really want that. That looks really cool. That'd be really cool right here. And then also another thing that happens is if I start watching a new show, like I didn't watch Jujutsu Kaisen when it was airing back in like January. And so I'm like, I see the figures coming out, but I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I'm like, whatever.
Now you know them. Like,
And then, so now I binged the show and I watched it, and now I'm like going back and I'm like, that guy was so cool in the show. I want him on my, and I'm like, and it, again, I've been really good at it because I haven't purchased anything still in like a while, and like there's one Megumin figure and he has like one of the demon dogs with him. I'm like, that one I think I want to pick up, but there's like, your basic like there's like 5 Gojo statues, of course, because everyone loves Gojo.
Oh yeah.
And I'm and 4 out of the 5 of them are like $170. I'm like, this is too much. And then also the more you buy and the more you look into the figures and stuff, some figures are priced at like some you get like you think of, oh, this 1/6 scale looks really good, and oh, the price is only like 120. Oh, that's fine. And then you look at another 1/6 scale figure and it's like 270, and I'm like, what? Like, what is why is this figure this much and why is this figure this much?
You get into the minutia of the material and whatnot.
Exactly. The company that makes it, maybe they have a better reputation.
Yeah.
Maybe, some of the figures have more detail around.
This one passed the figure smashing integrity test.
Exactly. That this figure has like spikes on him, so it's gonna jab the other figure first
A
before
lot of offensive capabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take my cheapest figure. We'll throw it at your most expensive one. If it breaks, it wasn't worth it. If it survives, it's solid.
You get like the Rising of the Shield hero character, and you're just like, all right, throw your figure at his shield. If he withstands the hit, your figure's weak.
Drop it from a balcony.
Yep.
Just like play slow motion. So I don't know. I don't even know how I got into this whole rant of figures, but
you started pulling them all out too, as you were saying it too. Yeah, there's a big stack right now.
I know you guys can't see him, but like I just started pulling them behind my chair and
can't actually move, but it's all right.
Dan's like, how'd you get these here, bro?
Yeah, I didn't see you come in with them, but all right.
I have questions.
I have questions and very little answers.
Yeah, so if you're gonna get into the figure hobby, just
Band Presto.
Start off with Band Presto.
Start
off with Band Presto, and hopefully you don't fall down the rabbit hole like I have, because then you're just gonna want every figure in existence.
You were talking about all the loans you were taking out too. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
I had
sell your car.
Walked here.
Yeah, dude, I'm on the streets right now. I have a wagon, and it holds only my figures.
I set
That's
Diva
all
up
you
to
need.
protect me. I take a nap. I set
My
her up in front of me.
5'7" diva statue.
I wake up in the morning, and sometimes at a glance, I see people like walking across the street. They don't want to come near my 5'7".
They don't want this heat.
They don't want these hands.
Yeah.
I painted her eyes red, so they're just like staring into your soul when you walk by. Oh yeah, but man, figures. Ugh. I love him, but I hate him. It's just one of those things.
It figures.
For the 3rd time, I'm getting up from this podcast. Damn it, Dan.
Giving you a lot of cardio. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh yeah.
Just to wrap it up, like, what do you guys individually want from this podcast? Like, what do you want to do with it? What are you expecting from it? What do you want to like talk about with it in general?
Well, I mean, now that we've covered a lot of like our basis, where we started and what we like, and I'm hoping we can turn it into, as series come out, or maybe if we discover like a new series, we can discuss like I started reading this manga and it's about this, and like, oh, that's it's really cool. And like I said, Chainsaw Man would be coming out soon, so we'll be able to start talking about that. But again, like we said in the beginning, it's not gonna only be anime. Like, we'll probably talk about maybe comic books or
some of the Marvel series recently.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been avoiding touching on like the Marvel shows, because maybe we can say that for another episode.
They've been good,
and they've been good. But we'll I'm kind of expecting that kind of content. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Jimmy?
Same here. Like, just touch up on like different things that come out. Maybe like if you guys play like different games throughout the week, like talk about that. If
Yeah.
you liked it, what you played, what you're excited for.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big gamer myself. You know, I play on PC.
I know you try to play every now and then.
If I had more time, I would totally. You know, I got my gaming PC right here, which is basically, I guess, just going to be used for recording at this point. Got my PlayStation and all that, but if I had more time, I would be more of a gamer. But yeah, for the podcast, I just want to be able to bring all my nerdy bullshit here because there's only so many things I can mention to my coworkers
before they're like, we might have to bring you to a hospital.
Yeah, before they escort me off the location. Yeah.
Like before the cap starts to explode, you're just like, I need to let out some nerd shit, and I just can't hear. No one knows what I'm talking about.
They just don't understand.
They don't get me. It's not a phase.
It was
a lifestyle.
It wasn't a phase, turns out. Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
But yeah, so I mean, that's it for me.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see what else we come up with. And you know, I think we were discussing maybe we'll do it every other week or maybe once a month. We'll see like how much time we put in between each episode, because then, you know, some episodes come out, maybe a new anime appears, and we can start talking about that. And you know, if we do it every week, I don't know if we'll run out of ideas of what to talk about, so we don't want that happening.
They'll never know. The listeners, they'll never know.
They're gonna know. They're not gonna know.
So
they'll never know.
We'll hand it over to our editor. Is that like is that the TikTok thing? You never know.
They're not gonna know.
They're not gonna know.
Yeah, so we'll ship this all off to our producer and see what they think, see what they come up with. All right, well, great first episode.
Yeah, no, we definitely talked a lot longer than we were like, yeah, we'll record for like a half an hour, and then once we hit the pee break, it was like, we recorded for an hour and 15 minutes. We're like, oh shit.
Well, once we edit it down, it'll be about 12 minutes, so like real short.
Just give me the intro.
All right, well, until next time, see you guys later. This has been Compycast.
All right, see you next time.
See you next time.